Hey guys, how we doing today? So I'm gonna bring up some cool stuff. This is gonna be a video about wholesale, but not just about wholesale. It's gonna be about retail arbitrage. So you may be looking at here. I have some things up here, and I typed in this word Greenbrier. So let's just right here. Before we even get started, guys, please like and subscribe. That really helps me. If you watch the video and you feel this helps you, I appreciate it. By the way, you know what I always noticed? There's always a few haters out there. I always get like one, two, or three dislikes. Like, man, you guys are brutal out there. Like, you're gonna hate on my video. I'm just giving away free stuff, and I'm just joking around. If you guys want to give me some dislikes, go ahead. I don't like it, but I'd appreciate a like rather than a dislike. But anyway, here's kind of some cool stuff I want to talk about. How I got started on Amazon and some neat stuff. How you can make a little extra loot on the side potentially. Now, there's some limitations to this, and I'll talk about that. So, at any rate, why do I have this bath soak pulled up here? So, what it is I pulled this up because if any of you know, you ever saw the Dollar Tree, right? The Dollar Tree, the dollar store. Um, they sell Greenbrier there, right? So it's a brand. So anyway, that is like one of the major brands. So if you find this seller right here, Greenbrier, okay, they are like the major brand, and one of the major brands that sells at the dollar store. So everything's a dollar at the dollar store, right? So here's kind of the neat thing. Somebody asked me earlier about how do I or should I have my private label stuff shipped to my house and bundle it there and then ship it in. I say no. Why would you do that, right? You want it to be passive as possible if you're doing private label. Have your manufacturer do everything, bundle it all together if they can bundle it there, right? Because if they can't bundle it there, then you're using two separate suppliers, and yeah, you could do it that way. If it's going to make you enough money, sure, if you don't mind putting in the work, but there wouldn't be any other reason to do it, because you'd pay more shipping too. You'd pay shipping from your house, from let's say China to your house if you're ordering it from China, and then from your house to Amazon, which is another shipping charge. Now, that might not be a ton of extra. Plus, you could do a quality check, which is one of the advantages of doing it that way. However, why not have it shipped directly into Amazon? It's passive. You never have to touch it. If you trust the quality of your supplier and everything's well there, just don't see the advantage of that. For me, I want it to be as passive as possible. Now, that being said, if we're going to discuss wholesale and discuss retail arbitrage, it changes, of course. You're not going to have anybody send that in for you that way. You're going to have to do it yourself. So, this brings me to this. This is kind of how I got started, and it's going to lead into wholesale as well. So, here's the thing. Let's assume that these are items you can buy at the dollar store. Now, the problem with some of you, especially you newbies out there, you might not be able to sell these because of the category it's under. Okay? You might go to take this ASIN right here. Okay? Then you would go to add products, and you'd copy it, you'd paste it in there, and it would tell you if you would be able to sell it. A lot of times with soap products and stuff like this, you cannot sell them. They won't let you do it when you're a new seller. Now, I'm probably ungated in it because I've been selling for a long time. I sell a lot. So they've ungated me in a lot of categories. But when I first started, this wasn't one of the ones I could sell. Now, you can see here there's 1, 2, 3. That costs the person $3. Now, whatever your tax rate is, yes, you're going to pay that as well. I think the dollar store online does take resale certificates. So if you do have one of those, you can actually get a tax-free or tax-exempt. But anyway, let's get back to what I'm saying here. So if I were to go buy these at the store in my area, I'd pay about $3.18. My sales tax rate's like 6%. It's pretty low, from what I've heard from other people. Anyway, so I would spend $3.18 for these 3 bottles here. So one of the greatest tools I like to use, especially for calculating costs, it's free. It's the revenue calculator. You can get it from Helium 10. It doesn't cost anything. I've been using it. It's a great tool. If you notice here, I also have, not only do I have a Helium 10 graph here, but I also use Keepa as well down here. So it's good to have multiple tools set up. You can get those and download those into your Chrome bar. Just look for them, install them, and you'll be good to go. So I really like this. You see, I already put my cost here. If I were to pay tax, $3.18. So my potential profit on this is $3.75. Now, I could go right now and I could buy, let's say I could, if they were available, or I could order them off the dollartree.com, I guess, and I could just buy tons of packs of these, right? So that would make me $3.75 a sale. Okay. Now I also would have shipping in to the facility. That would cost me a little bit, but let's just say probably $3.65 a sale. I don't know how much it would be for the shipping. Probably more. So we'll just safely say $3.50 a sale. Okay. If you take a quarter off this for shipping, all right, it would probably be less. So we would want to know how many sellers are selling this item. You can see right here is 10. Okay. So if I click on this, we want to make sure first they're prime. Now, there has been an issue with the buy box lately. Nobody understands what's going on. I've heard a multitude of different things. I don't know if it's been fixed, nor do I know when they're going to fix it. Amazon has been, from what I understand, they're screwing up the buy box tremendously. And there's no rhyme or reason as to why certain people are getting it and certain people aren't. Now, have they fixed that yet? I'm not sure. I know there's huge sellers that have been affected by it that went from like selling a ton every day to selling like nothing because they weren't getting the buy box. So I'm not sure why that happened. But at any rate, once that gets fixed, and it will get fixed, here's what you're going up against. So you have people that are not FBA, okay, meaning they're not for sale by Amazon, they're for sale by merchant. You have a lot of prime sellers. You have 1, 2, not prime, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 prime sellers. And you can see this guy's playing a race to the bottom. It looks like he has 1541. Undercut him by a penny. He'll probably wake up tomorrow morning and say, "Hey, this guy went down a penny. I'm going to go down to 1540," and they'll just continue on and on. That's one of the biggest problems with this. It's always a race to the bottom. Let's see how the sales have been. So we've gone as low as 1497 back here in April. Then it climbed up. People must have run out of stock. Then it went back down 15. So now it's been pretty steady around 15. See it drop there, and then it's been pretty steady. There you go. It dropped again. Somebody's trying to win the buy box by lowering their price. Okay. So even at that price, as I showed you, we can make $3 in some a sale. So that's a pretty good return on investment. If we invest $3.18, we can get paid after shipping probably around $3.50. That's a pretty good deal. So if you were engaged in this, which you probably won't be if you're new, like I said, you can go buy 3 of these, combine them together in a plastic package, just, get a heat shrink tape or whatnot, and then you put your label on it, which you would print the labels when you add the product and do your shipping plan, right? But you'd have to make sure you combine these. So that's where the real money can happen. So what I'm going to do, I'm not just relying on my private label. I'm also going to do prep work. So I'm going to get a prep table. I'm going to put that in my basement. And I'm going to do a prep center. So why would I do that? Because I can make more money. And I talked about revenue, creating more revenue earlier. You want to get more money. Create other avenues of income, of revenue. So I won't just rely on private label. I'm going to continue to build that out for sure. But if I can make $150, $200, $300 a day doing wholesale or even retail arbitrage, I'm going to do it. As long as I can do it within the time period that I have and it doesn't make my life miserable, right? So going to a dollar store to buy these 3 items, I could order them and have them delivered to my house. Might be an additional shipping charge. Likely you'd have them shipped to the store, go pick them up for free. So right here, great opportunity, for this Greenbrier right here. If I click on Greenbrier, I'll show you some of the items I've actually sold. I've looked into these. I don't know if they weren't profitable. I don't think I was ungated on these, the Greenbrier flashcards, but, that's $4 right there. So, with fees, you might be able to make a couple bucks off that. But if you sold enough of these types of items, you can make a decent amount. So it looks like somebody went into the dollar store here and they bought 2 of each color, and now they sell it. So that would have been $10. I don't know how they're making money on that unless you get 2 or 3 of these for $1. So all this stuff is pretty much dollar store items. Okay. So feel free to look through this. You can make a little bit of money doing dollar store items. It won't be a ton. There's usually a lot of competition. But here we go. Here's one of the items I've actually sold. So this here, you would buy each one of these for $1 a piece, okay? So that would be $3. Now, I don't know how in the world they're making money off this because they have plus shipping. So none of these, oddly enough, none of these are FBA. Huh. So they're shipping it out themselves, but if they were FBA, okay, you would lose money on it for sure because they're not including shipping into this. But you'd have to be around $10, $11. Like, let's say the selling price was like $11, right? Because they're selling for around that with the FBA fees. So, and you paid, let's say I paid $3.18, so be able to make $2.69 a sale. Now, being that there's no Amazon sellers on there, you could jump on there right now if you had them. My guess is the dollar store ran out of stock, and nobody has the Amazon FBA in there right now. So you could actually jump on there, and I've done this. I've bought the actual baskets, I've put them together, and then I shipped them in. So it was a pain in the butt. It took some work, but you know, if you do, just think about it this way: if you did 30 of them, and you make $2.69, do the math. You know, $60 plus another 30 times 69 cents. That can be your income for a day just doing that. And that might take you a couple hours. So if you think that way, if you think about other avenues to make money, it's out there. You just got to grind for it. You got to find it. That's one way to do it. The dollar store is one way to do it. If you find some of the right ones, especially when they go out of stock, you can make some money. But again, the dollar store is a hassle, but that is one of the options out there. You can go to Walmart clearance. You can do it that way. But you can also do wholesale. So one of the things that I've been doing is my virtual assistant, who's been doing a great job, she calls the places up and she opens up wholesale accounts for me on my behalf. And I'll talk to them if I need to set up a wholesale account. So the nice part about that is I can find items that there's not a ton of sellers on. But the problem I've been running into is many of the sellers that we do find, the wholesalers that we do find, they have too many sellers, or Amazon selling the item, which many times Amazon will not share the buy box. So why would I buy off of that wholesaler when I can't win against Amazon, and Amazon sells all their products? So let's use this as an example, the flashcards. Let's say I found this wholesale, okay? And the reality of it is these are dollar store items, okay? These cost $1 each. So this is $4 for this whole bundle. Now, the advantage is a lot of times there's something called map pricing. What that means is there's a minimum price that they want you to sell that item at. They won't, if they said, if Greenbrier was the wholesaler, and they said you can't sell this for any less than $11. That's the lowest price that anybody's allowed to go. If we find you going lower, we'll report you to Amazon, you get kicked off, right? Or we'll report you, you'll get kicked off, we'll get rid of your wholesale account. So let's say $11 was the actual map pricing, okay? You can't make any money off this if Amazon's selling it, because you lose the buy box every time. Number two, if there's too many sellers, in this case there's 42 sellers, right? Do you really want to compete against 42 sellers? How many sales a day are there? Now, there's 11 sales a day. You wouldn't get too many sales if those were FBA sellers. So here's the tricky thing. So a lot of times when they have map pricing, or if they have an official Amazon listing where Amazon sells this item, a lot of times if you look around, there might be an unofficial, let's say an unofficial Greenbrier, I'm using this as an example, an unofficial Greenbrier bundle somewhere. Maybe it has the cards, and then maybe it has these two cards here with it, and they're selling it cheaper than map pricing together. And you can jump in on that and win that because Amazon's not selling it. So a lot of times with wholesale or even retail arbitrage, you can find another listing that Amazon is not selling on, and that there's not a lot of sellers, and you can make money off of that combination. So like I said, use this as an example. Take these 4 cards, combine it with these 2, or maybe like each one of these has a map price. For example, when I say each one of the card packs has a map price, for example. Again, a minimum price you can sell it at. Let's say that price was $4 a piece. That would be $16 altogether, but they're selling it for 11 if they combine it together in a bundle. So here's where the prep center comes in. If you can get an item that they typically don't send to Amazon as a bundle, they send it in individually, you have to have somebody bundle that. The company won't do it for you, almost never. So you have them shipped to your house, where you bundle them together either in a box or in plastic. Then you take that and you send that into Amazon, and then Amazon will sell that as the bundle because you'll label it as such. You'll put the the SKU for that listing. Like, for example, if this was a bundle you made at your house, which you would for a dollar store, I'm talking about the same thing for a wholesale, you'll take that and you actually send it into Amazon, and you'll be able to sell and make some decent money. There's some I've found on wholesale accounts that are unofficial listings that can make me, and some are official listings too, but my estimate, I have to spend nothing on PPC, they can make me potentially $150, $160 a day on the average. It's pretty dang good for 4 or 5 products because they have unofficial listings that have tons of reviews, that maybe have 3 sellers, and maybe they sell 6 sales a day. So if I can jump on there, I can get 1 or 2 sales a day. If I'm making $20 a sale, $30 a sale, that's pretty significant. So that adds up. It's no PPC. All you got to do is reorder and send it in. Now, if more sellers jump on that, yeah, it's going to be harder, but that's part of doing wholesale. So if you do decide to do some wholesale, look for that. Don't just go by the official listings. Look for some unofficial listings, and you'll be surprised how many there are, and you might be able to do well with those. I don't really understand what the policy is on that because I've emailed some wholesalers about that, and it's like they just don't want to know about it or don't care. Some might care, so you got to be careful, but as far as I can see, it's legit and people are doing it, so I myself will do that as well. So anyway, that's kind of the message for today. If you want to get your feet wet, try Greenbrier, otherwise known as a Dollar Tree. Go on there, try to find some stuff, and just send a few things in. Go to the dollar store and buy a few items, send it in, just get comfortable with the process, right? So if you can find actual wholesalers, if you can get ungated in some of this stuff, Funnel Guru can help you out with that, by the way. You can make some decent money on some of this stuff. The reason it's good that because some people are gated in this stuff, like, they have 10 sellers here, which is a lot. Again, these are dollar store items, but not all of them are prime. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are prime. And let's see how many sales a day they're doing. Jungle Scout is not flying today, that's for sure. Okay. Maybe because I'm not on the actual listing. So, could I make money with this? I can't tell you because, alright. So 2 sales a day. That's what I mean. So 2 sales shared between, 5 people? 1, 2. Really between 2 people because there's tied on their cost. If you guys noticed, I talked about that earlier, I'll probably lower his price. He just lowered it to match Twin Huskies. So it's a constant battle there. So these 2 are sharing the buy box. But once they get wind of it, they might lower their price. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prime sellers, which you're going to be competing with constantly to sell this stuff. So anyway, if you get into wholesale, there should be a lot less. Again, you'll find some odd bundles, whether it's just, like, maybe you'll find that there'll be 2 of these, and it's an unofficial listing. Like, it's not Greenbrier, even though they'll say, like, it'll have Greenbrier somewhere in there, but it won't actually be Greenbrier. So Amazon won't be selling it, which is huge. So I hope this guy helps you guys out. If you get some wholesale, you can get a prep center. Not only can you do retail arbitrage, but you can also do, which you got to be careful with retail arbitrage. By the way, Amazon does take some receipts. They take like Nordstrom, Walmart, some other ones, so I've heard. I don't mess with retail arbitrage myself too much. I actually do dabble in it a little bit for some things, but wholesale, you can get your invoices from the actual manufacturer once you get approved for a wholesale account. But again, then you go on the unofficial listings, and you can make money there. So hope you guys again like and subscribe. Please ask any questions. I'd be happy to answer them. I talked earlier in a video I just uploaded about coaching, and there's updates to come. I'm working hard as I can, fast as I can right now. Hopefully by the end of the week I'll hit you guys up with some more details regarding that. If you guys do get Jungle Scout, I'm going to put an affiliate link in there that if you're going to get it anyway, please feel free to use my affiliate link. That'll help me out a little bit. And then I'll keep you guys updated on everything else going on. Hope you have a great night, and God bless, guys.